All right, welcome to Barbecue Church. We outside hanging out right now. I hope everybody's having a great day, wonderful day whenever you're watching this. Matter of fact, go ahead and say something in the comments. Put a fire emoji, put a steak emoji, say something, say hi to anybody that says, hey, you're watching with this person. Say hi to them. We like to do that here. We're just that type of family. We're so glad you're here. If somebody just said, hey, you should check out Barbecue Church, we welcome you. We're glad you're here. My name is Andre Anderson. We kind of do some things differently around here at Barbecue Church. Man, did I smoke anything this week? I did chicken tenders for the wife. I think we made salad out of that. I did a bunch of steaks the other day. We had, it was funny. One of the people in our Facebook group where we talk about barbecue, in Barbecue Assembly of God, we had a guy talk about well done steak is the only way you need to do steak. And we're like, and if you can't do it, then you can't cook. And we're like, nah, that's not how this works. So it was fun. A lot of people chimed in. It was a fun conversation. It was hilarious. All the offline conversation about it was fun as well. So I went and got 2 different steaks, and I smoked steak 2 days in a row because why not? You know, that's what we wanted to do. And perfectly medium rare. Shout out to all the people that like to use the term reverse sear. Most of y'all know I don't like that term at all because you can't reverse a sear. Once something is seared, it's seared. So you can't reverse a sear. It's technically smoke and sear, but whatever, I digress. I'm gonna step away from that one. So again, glad you're here. So where I'm at right now is I'm actually standing in front of the area where my childhood home was. I grew up on this block. We're on North Ave right now. My house was about where we're standing now. This was our property, but there was a field back here. We actually did corn. I mean, we're in the hood, but we had corn back here. We had grapes back here. I don't remember if this tree was even here. We used to play basketball on this pole right here until Mr. Dean cut down our basketball hoop. So whatever. My homeboy, who we call Lee Dean, used to live right here. So the House of Wax, if any of you follow House of Wax, House with a Z, if any of you follow them, they're all about that mental health journey and helping people who deal with mental health struggles, helping them deal with that and cope with that and talk about it through music and talk about ways that we can grow and develop and be different people. And deal with all of our mental health issues in a healthy and more positive way. So that's what House of Wax is about. But that was birthed out of that field. Ollie's house isn't there anymore. My house isn't here anymore. But these are the places where we grew up. This is the place where he and I became really good friends. These are the places where we played hide and go seek. This is a place where we would play football in the middle of the street and throw the ball and make fun of each other's dads. We did all sorts of crazy stuff on this block. We used to sled down the hill. This hill is like super steep, and we would come down and sled all the way down North Ave. And it was just a great time that we would just have as kids. I'm going to talk about remembering who we are and what God brought us from. Taking a moment to remember the big moments that God did in your life and remembering, you know what? I was here at some point and God worked a miracle. I was here at some point and God got me through this. I was here, now we're there. When we look at Joshua 4, it's right as the Israelites came across the Jordan River, where I've talked about this in sermons in the past, where the Israelites crossed over the Jordan. The people took the Ark of the Covenant, which was the presence of God. They took it out into the middle of the Jordan, and then God stopped the water way upstream, and then all the water would just flow down until it was dry land. And so everybody crossed. And the Lord told Joshua, hey, I want you to grab 12 of the homies from all the different, like grab a homie from each tribe, each of the 12 tribes of Israel. I want you to grab a big old stone, and I want you to take it out of the Jordan, and then I want you to build a memorial. And then people are going to say, hey, what are these stones about? Why did you pile these stones up like this? And it's, because we want to remember when God stopped the water. We want to remember the miracle that God did. We want to remember the point where God intervened in our lives and did a miracle and showed us that he was our God. He took care of us. He made sure that we could cross over on dry land. He made sure that we could be safe. He made sure that we were better off and we could get to the place where he wanted us to be, where he opened up an immovable object and then closed it behind us so that we could be protected. The purpose of this sermon today is I want us to remember where we came from. I want us to remember those moments. And, sometimes we need to write this stuff down. We need to write down, hey, I remember when God did this. I remember when God did that. Think back to your childhood and the things that you got through, the things that God brought you through, the way he brought you through some of the wildest times. Even when God came through whenever we made mistakes, and God was God in the midst of us being idiots. When God came through for us and said, hey, man, you know what? You really screwed that up, but I still got you. I'm still going to do something great in your life. I don't forget about you just because you messed up. Whenever other people will discount you and throw you out because you screwed up, but that's not who God is. God doesn't do that to us. Take a moment to remember those times. Take a moment to write those things down and remind your children of what God has done. To tell people and remind them and say, oh, listen, let me tell you about the time that God did this. Let me tell you about the time when I was here, but God brought me here. I remember the time when I lived in this house and I was a completely different person. I was in the 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade when I lived in this house. When I had my guy Lee Dean right here, who was older than me. A lot older than me. He gonna be mad I said that. But my guy Lee was right here. And we were hanging out and, Lee helped keep me out of trouble. I've talked about that before. We did life together. We ate together. We were family. We became family then, and we're family still to this day. I remember those moments, and he remembers those moments, and we talk about those all the time. We look back to what God did in our lives. So look back and write them down and remind yourself. We put those pillars weren't just for those rock formations weren't just for the children. It was for those adults, because so many times we forget what God has done, and we need to remember those things. Remember what God has done. Remember, write it down. Remember these moments. Remember, look back and go, okay, and thank God. Hey, God, remember that? I remember that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go. Let's build those memorial moments so that we can remind people of the goodness of God and show them that God did this for me. God did this for us. God did this for our family, and he's going to continue to do it. When you remember what God did before, you look at those things, and when you get into a hard time, you look at those stones, you look at those moments, and you go back into that and go, man, God did it before, God will do it again. God worked a miracle before, he could do it again. He's not going to do it the same way. The way that the Red Sea parted was different from the way that the Jordan parted. So let's look to God to do something new. Let's remember God and remember that God can do something great in our lives. And let's continue to move forward on our faith journey. So look, if you don't have a relationship with God, it's very simple. We talk about it every week. It's just saying a simple prayer. It's nothing magical. It's nothing like grand. It's nothing weird. It's just saying, hey, Jesus, I believe you're real. I believe that you died on a cross and came back to life, because that fixed things between me and God. So come into my life, change who I am, and help me to be the person that you called me to be. Help me to remember what you've done in my life. Help me to see what you've done in my life up until this point, and help me to continue to move forward in you. Text journey to the number that comes over the screen like that. Put in your information, and then you will get an online devotional that will walk you through the first 30 days of what it means to be a Christ follower. Check that stuff out. It's wonderful. And look, we appreciate you. We love you guys. It's wild because, okay, so where I am in Wilkinsburg, Graham Field is right here. And they're doing this big event up there and a big party, and they have grills lit, and I can smell the charcoal, and it smells delicious. I'm gonna see if I can go get some food. So look, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Keep making great food. Keep doing great things. Remember who God is. We love you. We appreciate you. Praise God. Y'all be safe. We'll check y'all later, man. We out here. Blip, blip, blip. And if you want to check out any of our Barbecue Church merch, it's andersonprintables.com. You can check that out. Go to that. Check out some of our stuff. We're putting up a couple of things that are up there now. We're going to take some stuff away soon and then put out new stuff. So if you want to check that out, grab some stuff, help support what we're doing here, because we're not, I don't talk about money or finances at all. So we want to be able to give you something for what you're doing. It's going to help us continue to move forward. So we love you. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful time here. Man, I love people, man. All right. Bang. I got it.